if I can get this name right. Angshul. Right. Angshul. Luke's more Gnostic twin brother.
See? You got it.
Well, that's a mouthful right there.
Yeah.
It's not just a history lesson, though. You have a framing device that is, shall we say, unconventional?
Yes. My movie opens with an actor in a spaceship. Thank God for green screens.
And the actor is playing...
Angshul. Remember Luke's more Gnostic brother?
He's being anal probed.
Yeah. The actor was a good sport there. First scene he shot, really. Weird first day of filming. Hey dude, nice to meet you. Now drop your pants and land the tape.
The movie's been banned in Tennessee and Florida and a couple other states.
Yeah, it's the hottest illegal download in those states too, so winning.
The brilliant twist in that scene, though, I feel, is alien.
Yes, I am really grateful to my customers and to my ethics people.
I love how they all look like Egyptian gods.
Well, you see, the aliens on the ship are the Egyptian gods.
Right.
Angshul is a worshiper of the Greek gods. His father is a Jewish merchant living in the Holy Land at the time of Christ. When he does a lot of traveling while trading, so Angshul's mother is originally from Greece and is not yet converted to Judaism. Luke, Angshul's brother, identifies as Jewish.
And both men follow Christ around listening to him speak. They are witnesses to his crucifixion.
Yes, and Angshul tells the story of Christ through the eyes of a man who worships multiple gods. One who is not a believer in the God Israel.
For those in our audience who don't know anything about the Gnostics, care to shed some light as to who or what they were?
They were an early sect of Christianity. The term Gnostic comes from the Greek word gnosis, knowledge. They believed that they had a secret knowledge that would free them from the constraints of the physical world.
So they believed the physical world was evil?
Yes, they believed that God the Creator from the Old Testament and God the Father from the New Testament were two different days.
And why did they believe this?
Well, look, they were trying to reconcile the differences they perceived between God in the Old and the God in the New Testament. The wrathful, vengeful God of the Old Testament didn't seem to match the description of the loving Father that Jesus preached about. So the Gnostics, they believed they had to be different beings. The God of the Old Testament was evil in their eyes, as was the world he created.
And the God of the New Testament was the good God?
Yes, Angshul believes Jesus is the son of Prometheus.
Prometheus?
The ancient Greeks that believed that Prometheus created man. Now, he stole fire from the gods and taught man how to light it against the wishes of the king of the gods, Zeus.
Whenever I think of Zeus, I think of him in Disney's Hercules.
Yeah, the devoted family man who is dedicated to his wife and family. Not quite the way the actual myths go.
Well, that's certainly a bummer.
Yes, bummer is exactly the word to use there. Anyway, Zeus angrily crucifies Prometheus to a giant rock. And every day, a buzzard visits him and rips out his liver. The liver grows back at night. And so the vicious cycle continues for hundreds of years until Prometheus is finally freed, ironically, by the hero Heracles.
Well, I don't know about you, but I always hated liver as a child. So I totally feel for that bird. But back to your groundbreaking film.
Yes, Angshul.
Angshul believes he is the son of Prometheus.
Yes, Prometheus, who sent his son to satisfy the bloodlust of the God of the Old Testament. The Gnostics were among the first Gentiles to convert to Christianity. Now, at this point in time, Christianity was pretty much just another sect of Judaism.
Yes, and this brings me to the part of your documentary
they were Jewish. Yes, now in 66 AD, there was a Jewish revolt in Jerusalem where they managed to force out their Roman oppressors. But the Romans were able to take the site back. And the Romans then burned the Great Temple and expelled the Jews from the land. And the Romans went about trying to wipe the Jews from history as well.
Kind of funny when many people think that Roman Catholicism is the earliest form of Christianity.
Yeah, Christianity didn't really become a separate faith from Judaism until much later, after a Roman believed that Jesus appeared and spoke to him. And
it was at this point Gentiles began joining the faith?
Joining it and forever changing it. One of the reasons the earliest Gospels was written.
Well, Hebrew and Aramaic, it's all Greek to me.
Yes, well,
And with that, looks like we have to cut to commercial. Thank you again for coming on the show today.
My pleasure.
And later on today's program, student loan forgiveness. Some politicians are comparing it to Nazi Germany. That's later today.
Morning. Where's Winfield? He out again?
I don't think he's coming back this semester.
Oh.
So today we continue with our lesson on the Great London Vampire Scare of 1890. It is amazing how much can change in 2 years. Arthur Homewood has lost yet another of his children. The court jester is now a serious actor.
Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions? Fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is? If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die?
You? What are you doing?
Did I miss my entrance?
Did I miss my entrance? Duh, you missed your entrance. You only have one line in this show. One line. Huck! That's it. You carry that friggin' spear and say, Huck! And you can't even handle that?
And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you and the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge? If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by Christian example? Revenge. The villainy you teach me, I will execute. And it shall go hard, but I will better the instruction.
Arthur Homewood Jr. has just moved back home. Arthur Sr. was distraught since most of his family had now died from what nobody at the time realized was tuberculosis.
Inspector Lestrade is here to see you, ma'am. Show him in. Will there be anything else? No, thank you. What brings you here today, Inspector?
Queen around?
No, she is out in the garden with her new friend.
Oh, yes. The gentleman she refers to as the gentleman from one of the few remaining colonies.
Yes, that would be the one. Oh, where are my manners? We just got 200 eggs in this morning. Shall I have the cook make you an omelet?
No, thank you.
Spot of tea?
No, again, ma'am. I am fine.
Oh, well, more for me then. What brings you by this early in the morning?
Well, I didn't wish to upset you, but we had to take your husband in this morning.
What? You arrested my Jonathan like a commoner?
Please, we had no choice. He was found naked, curled up in the steps of Westminster Abbey, ranting at birds.
Ranting at birds?
And he thought they were bats, ma'am.
Oh, no.
Yeah, vampire bats.
He's on that kick again, I see.
I'm sorry. How long has this been going on?
Since they found him, really. I mean, it's not always bats and vampires, but the man is afraid of his own shadow. I can't explain it.
Must be difficult.
Where is he now?
He is with Dr. Stewart.
So, Mr. Harper, you believe these bats followed you from Transylvania?
Again, Doctor, they are not bats. They just look like bats. Why is it you and Mina both fail to understand this?
Ah, so you have discussed this with your wife then?
Of course I have. I haven't been able to get it up after what those wretched creatures did to me. I felt my wife most certainly deserved an explanation there.
Can't get it up?
No, again, not since the incident.
The incident?
While I was at Castle Dracula, he had these 3 brides. They had 5 breasts, and they squirted blood from their nipples into a giant tub, where I was forced to bathe in said blood.
What room did this take place in?
The Great Hall. Guards who were half wolf and half man dragged me out of bed one night while I was trying to sleep. They stripped me as these 3 5-breasted women approached laughing. Count Dracula watched with the most evil grin I have ever seen.
And after the bathing in blood, what happened?
Wait, one crucial detail. Did I mention each of the women had 5 breasts?
Yes. Yes, you have.
I was tied up, and they each took turns with me and sucked all the, you know.
Wait. You said Count Dracula was
Yes.
and all this stuff. The dead Count Dracula or undead?
When Dracula left for London, he kept me there so I could be a plaything for those succubuses.
Wait! What do you mean? When he left for London?
Yes. He said he had business to take care of there.
When? When did he supposedly leave Transylvania?
Just a month or 2 before I managed to escape his castle.
Interesting. Interesting.
Want to hear something even more interesting? The women each had 5 breasts.
Yes, yes. Porn talk. Do you happen to know how Count Dracula came here?
Yes. He said he had booked passage on a ship called the SS Demeter.
Very good, very good.
Yes, sir.
The session is over. You can show our patients out.
Over? Just like that?
Yes, yes, I'm afraid I have some rather pressing business to attend to.
You think I'm crazy, just like everyone else does, don't you?
No. No, not at all. On the contrary, you may have just helped me solve another case of mine.
Another case of yours? You sound like a detective now.
The good doctor dabbles in many things, sir, and he dabbles quite well.
I have an appointment with Arthur Holmwood next week, right?
Yes, doctor. So, and
Indeed. Losing his wife and all but one of his children to what I initially thought was consumption.
it wasn't consumption?
No, no. You're not getting into this. I wish not to disturb the mind of such a sweet and innocent, if not also petulant, maiden.
It's vampires, isn't it?
Vampires? Vampires? How did you know?
Many believe the vampire just about everything there is to know on the topic.
You are a remarkable woman. Remarkable.
Thank you, Doctor.
That will be all.
Now, Homewood initially rejected any suggestion that his family had become the victims of a vampire. Seward had been suspecting vampires were the problem for some time now. He just couldn't figure out where they were coming from.
Shagan speaking.
Wait, how did you...
Sorry, I read ahead last night.
You truly are my best friend.
Thank you, Professor.
But you're getting ahead. Seward began talking to some of Homewood's neighbors. They reported all sorts of weird things that had happened the past couple of years. Weird sounds in the night. Crops not growing. Cats getting sick. The doctor was building his case.
Quincy Morris to see you, sir.
Very good, very good.
I looked up the Euros of the SS Demeter.
Oh?
It was found shipwrecked on the shores of Whitby 2 years ago. The crew had all succumbed to illness.
So, there were no survivors?
There was one, a madman who didn't speak a word of English. He had only the clothes on his back and a sketchbook. He was supposedly from Sagenschlagen.
I don't think he was from Sagenschlagen.
No.
I think he was from Transylvania. In fact, I'm pretty sure he is our vampire!
But modern science doesn't accept the existence of vampires, Doctor. Vampires are just superstitious nonsense.
I assure you that oftentimes, what was superstition yesterday will become the scientific reality of the future. Vampires are cunning and dangerous. But their truest power lies in the fact that people don't often believe in them.
Doctor, you're not about to talk about the Jewish space lasers again, are you?
You still here? Don't you have something you should be scrubbing?
Yes, Doctor.
Jewish space lasers?
Yes, my cousins in the States are figuring out how to make a machine that can fly. So I believe, in the not-too-distant future, wars will be conducted from the air.
Okay, not really that interested. Back to the man from Sagenschlagen.
The man from Transylvania.
Sagenschlagen.
Transylvania.
Why are you so convinced the man was from Transylvania?
Not man. Vampire. I have here the journal of Jonathan Harker, kept while he was in Transylvania.
You forget I have been to Transylvania. I've been to Castle Dracula, and I can assure you I saw no five-breasted women or gods, the half-beast, half-man. I can assure you the late Count was a perfect gentleman, like you or I.
Okay. But you did tell me tales you heard at the local taverns.
Yes.
You told me that many of the people hang strands of garland outside of their front doors at night.
Yes.
And why do they do this? To ward off
Vampires.
the prosecution rests, Your Honor.
The master is out gallivanting with his buddies. He would be appalled if they knew I was here entertaining an actor.
You make me sound like I'm some kind of dimmock.
A dimmock?
An evil spirit that attacks young virgins of the eve of my wedding. But first it must be invited inside the home. Creepy. But rest assured, I know it. Doesn't matter.
I am no virgin.
So.
Mia, my favorite child. Have a seat, okay? We don't get to hang out together often these days.
No, Mum, we don't. So, you're in a rather jovial mood today. Guess getting some really was just what you needed, eh?
Some what, dear?
Getting some sun. I've seen you and your friend walking the gardens every morning before breakfast these days.
Oh, yes, you really should try to meet more people from the remaining colonies. Get a gentleman friend from one of them for yourself. They are full of insights that you would never imagine in a million years.
Oh yes, insights.
My child, I know what you are inferring here, and we are not amused.
I don't know, Mom. You seem rather amused right now.
Not amused. Bemused by your childless nature.
Sure, Mom. Sure. Whatever you say.
So, how are things with you?
Oh, fine. Lestrade showed me his forensics lab the other day.
Oh, again? You know, my dear, the Ripper has stopped his ghastly crimes.
And yet, he was never caught.
I think we shall be glad the killing spree is over.
For now.
My child, you are far too morbid for someone of your stature and breeding. Really, I do love it.
You do?
Yes, it's why you're my favorite. Oh, what have you got there?
One of the letters the Ripper wrote Scotland Yard back in the day.
No.
Yes, Lestrade gave it to me for my birthday.
Oh, he is a rather naughty devil. I like him too.
One thing that strikes me about this letter, it differs from the others.
How so?
The penmanship.
Unbeknownst to the Queen and his daughter, the Thames Towers of Gillen just fleeing the scene of his latest crimes.
What? Thames fossil killer has struck again.
Another body cut in half?
Intestines removed.
Was that the royal physician?
And his maid.
Penmanship is exquisite, almost feminine.
I know. Would be interesting if the Ripper was a woman.
Oh, sodomite.
Mother!
Could be, dear, could be.
I know. I'm just shocked that you know what a sodomite is.
Oh, please. I know what one is. It's a shame your grandfather had all of them thrown into dungeons and work camps. I have never had my hair done right since.
Oh, please. Your hair is fine.
But I don't want my hair to be fine. I want it to be fabulous. Not to dwell on unpleasant matters, but how is your marriage?
Well, marriage is, it's what it is, for better or worse, till death do us part.
And Jonathan is okay with how much time you spend with the inspector?
Yes.
No flying into a jealous rage or anything?
No.
In a way, I guess that's
I kind of wish he would. A jealous rage would show he's paying attention. But then again, I do like having a free pass to do as I please.
I take back my advice from Elvira.
Which advice is that?
The advice to get a gentleman friend from one of the remaining colonies. It's clear you don't actually need one of those for anything. You're getting it already.
Thank you.
Well, I must be off. Today, my gentleman friend and I are going to the beach. Who knows? Maybe I'll see a lower calf on a shapely young man.
Dr. Seward, you're gonna have to be skeptical about the whole vampire thing.
Skeptical would be an understatement. When I first suggested it, you insisted I was a madman and refused to listen to a word of what I was saying.
But one of my neighbors, a farmer named SATIRICIal, insisted on digging up Harry's body. He died early last November from the same ailment that took his sister to the body.
Why did your neighbor wish to dig up the body?
Because I've been alive long enough to recognize from a man's family that has a vampire and is preying upon the living members.
Zachary, Dr. Seward and Quincy P. Morris. Seward, Quincy, my neighbor, Dakota.
And the other night, my most prized cow suddenly collapsed and died.
Has she been sick?
No, she was the healthiest of all my livestock.
Sorry for your loss.
And she had the most amazing birthing hips and beautiful eyes. She always looked at me with longing.
Okay, this conversation's taking a turn. Back to the human stuff.
I wish not to make waves with any of my neighbors right now, so I grant permission for Harry's grave to be exhumed.
So we exhumed the body earlier this morning.
What did you find?
His body was perfectly preserved. His heart was full of blood. There was even traces of blood at the corner of his mouth.
His heart was full of blood?
Yes. I then suggested we dig up all the other graves of the Hallwood family.
And once again, not wishing to make any waves, I obliged. We dug up the bodies of my other two children who had died, and my wife. The bodies were all decomposed.
And then what happened?
I removed Harry's heart from his corpse. Wait, if it's a vampire, do you scientists still call it a corpse?
Of course it's still a corpse, a reanimated corpse, but a corpse nonetheless.
We then burned the heart.
We severed Harry's head, arms, and legs before we buried him here.
Wait. When did Harry die again?
Early November last year.
And his body was perfectly preserved?
Yes. Also his hair and fingernails had grown since.
Need any more proof that vampires may very well indeed exist, Mr. Morris?
But it had been an abnormally cold winter that year. It's right here in my textbook. You guys are being idiotic. Do you see, right here in this textbook, that would explain why Harry didn't decompose at what one might call a normal rate.
It's okay. He really didn't know any better.
But even the blood dripping from the corner of his mouth, if he had blood in his heart, of course it could still breathe.
Calm down.
Why would Harry have been made a vampire, but not the rest of the family?
I am not sure, but you do realize that since your family has been plagued by one or more vampires over the last decade or so, Harry cannot have been the head vampire, correct?
Head vampire?
Yes, head vampire. The only way to solve your predicament and save your one remaining son's life is to find the head vampire, cut out his heart, and sever his head and limbs from the body.
I am impressed that you know so much about vampires.
My granddaddy had to stop a vampire that was preying on our family in these parts about 95 years ago.
But who could the head vampire be? I doubt he got a big sign outside his place of residence. Home of the head vampire.
As luck would have it, I have deduced the identity of the head vampire.
I am so not comfortable with this at all.
Well, Mr. Morris, perhaps you have your own theory that is better than mine?
No, I don't. But what makes you so convinced that the head vampire is the man from Zagantree?
Transylvania?
Fine, Transylvania. Anyway, the farmer here just mentioned a case of vampirism in these parts almost 100 years ago, long before the man from Transylvania arrived on our shores.
Yeah, but my granddaddy stopped that vampire and destroyed the creature.
There, right there. That's how we know it's not a local.
I guess, but I still fail to see how you can possibly believe the vampire is Count Dracula.
Why?
Because Count Dracula has been dead for the better part of a decade.
And Count Dracula is obviously our head vampire.
Wait, what?
Dracula's dead, vampires are dead.
Undead?
Undead, dead, whatever, same difference.
Oh, I'm getting a headache.
You're getting a headache.
Enough! Gentlemen, put your faith in me. After all, I am a man of science and of the modern era. Who Who better to trust in such situations?
The cemetery has been vandalized.
Vandalized?
Several graves were disrupted.
What? One of the bodies was badly mutilated.
Who the hell mutilates a corpse?
Know how the Ripper attack stopped?
Yeah?
Of course. Why didn't I think of that before?
Think of what?
What if the Ripper stopped targeting prostitutes? What if he found a new target?
Of course, of course. I've been saying that all along. The Ripper of the Thames, also killer, could be the same person.
So, what if the Ripper is now murdering corpses in graveyards?
Murdering corpses?
Yeah, dead bodies. He's now murdering dead bodies instead of living prostitutes.
I can't believe it. I've been on the force longer than my friend here. He's the one who has cracked the case.
You honestly believe he's cracked the case?
Well, yes. Clearly he has.
That's right. I have done what neither you or your Sherlock Holmes have been able to do.
You have, haven't you?
Yep. All thanks to my little gray cells up here.
You didn't even name a culprit?
Pretty sure it was that there ghost of Anne Boleyn who haunts the Tower of London.
Why don't you two take the rest of the day off?
Really?
Yes.
Good idea. My brain is actually hurting from all these extra thinking I've been doing today.
Trust me, nobody's brain is hurting more in this room than mine right now.
Who knows who could also be? That loony who keeps hanging out here for questioning.
Oh yes, the man from Sweden.
Ian Ziblaski, 66, Carfax, Abbey Road, Portland, PA.
Dear Jonathan again, ma'am.
Oh no, what now?
He's in the kitchen harassing the staff.
Oh well, that sounds more like him being his old regular self.
He wants them to make him scrambled eggs.
Seems reasonable.
Scrambled eggs with dead flies mixed in.
Oh no, the bug thing again. Can you send my husband in?
Yes, ma'am.
Jonathan, darling, why are you crawling on the floor?
Full moon tonight.
Oh, yes, of course. That makes perfect sense.
I swatted about 10 flies yesterday.
Wow, good for you!
Your chef refuses to mix them with my eggs.
Jonathan, darling, I want to understand. Really, I do, but
Inspector Lestrade to see you, ma'am.
very good, Bertha.
Am I interrupting something?
I wish. Nope, just another day in paradise.
Yeah, nice doggy, good doggy. Want me to get you a bone? Wait, I just realized. No, strike that.
Jonathan, I demand you go back to the kitchen and continue hounding the staff.
Yes, darling, whatever you wish.
I need to discuss something with you. I'm afraid your royal physician is possibly up to mischief.
Oh, great. Just what I need. This place is
nymphomaniac, despite still espousing borderline puritanical values left and right. My kid sister is getting married next month. My youngest brother has begun cross-dressing. My eldest brother is carrying on with my youngest sister. The new Prime Minister is trash-talking all of us behind our backs. And really, who can blame him? My husband is now hunting flies and eating them. So yes, please, please, do add some more drama to my life right now. I'm single-handedly trying to run this palace, and I swear, if I'm not in Bedlam by next winter, it's only because I don't know.
I'm so sorry. I hate seeing you like this.
You forget yourself.
I know, man. I'm terribly sorry.
No, I'm glad you forgot yourself. I wish I could forget myself sometimes.
You're going to be home.
I don't know. If you're here with me, yes, I will be. I mean, yes, I'm fine, yes.
I love.
Shh. Don't finish that sentence. We both have spouses and duties, but trust me, I have known for a while that my feelings for you are exactly the same.
Good day, Inspector.
Jonathan?
And has Holmes cracked the case of the Thames torso killer yet?
No, he has not. Nobody has.
And I take it you are closer in identifying the Ripper.
No.
Pity. And unlike Holmes, your inventions are paid for by our tax dollars, are they not? And the Ripper murders were what? 2 years ago?
Jonathan.
What, my dearest?
You are being very rude, Jonathan. What the hell has got into you?
Mina, I want a divorce.
Jonathan!
There's no need to try to change my mind. I shan't, you know. The bats were outside my window again last night.
The bats! The bats! Couldn't we have 1 week where you do not mention them?
They want me, and they should. I keep playing hard to get. I will follow them back to Transylvania tonight.
Very well, then.
Hey, Inspector, did I mention that when the bats were in human form, they each have 5 breasts?
No, you didn't. That's quite impressive, though. So the bats, are they the ones who got you into this new diet craze?
What new diet craze?
Flies?
Flies? Who wants to eat poor, puny things like flies?
And with all due respect, Princess Nina tells me you do.
Why would I want flies when I can get nice, fat, juicy spiders instead?
Well, that's one of my headaches taken care of. So, what is my physician up to?
I am worried we may have crossed the line where even I cannot help cover things up here.
What's happening?
He's going on and on about...
About what?
Considering the recent developments with your newly estranged husband, I'm really unsure if I don't know, maybe it was a mistake to come here. No, it wasn't a mistake coming here today. The good doctor has been going on and on about vampires to pretty much anyone who will listen.
Oh, that. I knew all about that rubbish.
You did?
Yes, he was spending way too much time with Jonathan. So I guess some of Jonathan's craziness rubbed off on me.
The problem is, he and a group of people vandalized a graveyard last night.
They did what now?
It seems he's got himself a band of vampire hunters, and they're mutilating a corpse.
You're sure it's Dr. Seward doing this?
Well, you know, I'm not 100% certain. I'm just worried.
Sweet of you to Do you want to come up to my bedroom?
I thought you never asked.
Would you like a little wine first?
I never drink wine this early in the morning.
It was a beautiful morning. Actually, it was a beautiful day overall. But as the sun set, the crimson sky could almost be seen as an omen of the evening that was about to come. The Thames Dorsal killer had struck again. Constables were chasing after him, but, like always, the killer had they broke in carrying knives.
You sure this is the place?
Yes, this is 66 Carfax Abbey Road, apartment 3A, room of 1, Ivan Slavinsky.
Gentlemen, we now will wait here till dawn.
How can we be sure our vampire will be here at dawn?
The vampire must sleep during the day in the same unholy dirt in which he was buried. He keeps that dirt in his coffin.
He sleeps in a coffin.
Well, it's probably good for your back.
I'm still not sure about any of this.
It's him! Ivan! I mean, Count Dracula!
It's dark in here, but it does indeed look a great deal like a dead cat.
Undead! Undead Count!
Fine, undead Count.
But it's nighttime. Why is our vampire sleeping now? Perhaps he already fed.
That makes sense. Renfield.
Lucy?
Renfield, what's happening?
Shit, you came?
I was worried about you.
Why?
I don't know.
Seriously, why do you like me? Nobody ever has.
Well, maybe that's why. I mean...
So it's just a pity thing? You just feel sorry for me? You know what, fuck this acrimonious bullshit then.
You know what? Forget it. Just forget it, man.
Lucy, wait! Wait. Look, I'm sorry. I'm an asshole. I'm a total fuck-headed asshole. I know that.
It's okay.
I guess I've always been so used to rejection. I push people away before they can push me away first. Anyway, I'm glad you came here.
Your message scared me. I thought you might be doing something stupid. I don't know.
I'm leaving.
School?
The area. I'm moving in with my grandmother in Seattle.
Things with your father are...
Yeah.
Well, I'll miss you.
You're the one good thing I'm leaving behind here.
You'll keep in touch.
I'd like to. I mean, I'm not sure if I would, but I would like to. You know, always be glad that you were there for me.
And I'll always be glad to have known you. Maybe I can come out and visit you sometime this summer.
That'd be cool. Well, look, here comes the bus.
Goodbye, my friend. I have left you together.
Hold on. If he's a vampire, why is he sleeping in a bed and not a coffin?
He's trying to fool us.
Exactly.
What is it?
Wow, gold coins. How does he have gold?
Vampires hoard money and treasure.
Oh, Most of my family's died.
My cattle are sick. My crops are withering. I have been going hungry. And this foreigner, this intruder in our land has gold.
Startled, Zacharias stopped.
Don't act like that, Kurt. We all know vampires are in pain.
The jester then stopped.
Shit! Don't you feel a little soft and vindictive on us now?
Yeah, don't forget we're the good guys here.
You just stabbed a man!
Vampire, not a man.
An unholy devil sent from hell to plague us all.
Zacharias stabbed Ivan. Yes.
No!
You were with us up until now. What has changed?
There's so much blood gushing.
Yes, blood this creature stole from my wife.
Otto's grief had turned into complete violence. He stabbed Ivan 5 times.
What have we done? What have we done?
This is for my wife and children!
Otto, Jester, and Zachariah began stabbing Ivan violently, but Ivan was already dead. The man Seward called the King of Vampires was no more. And so, the man from Zagenswagen was dead.
What have we become? What have we become? I think our friend Quincy might have been corrupted by the vampire.
What? Yeah? I think you're actually shedding tears over a monster. No. The only monsters here are us.
Wait, I have lost almost everyone I love. I'm at risk of losing the one person left that I love. And you think I'm a monster?
I will deal with you later, traitor.
Why wait till later?
Otto's grief had turned into complete madness. He lunged at Quincy and stabbed him repeatedly. Quincy fell to the ground dead alongside the man from Zagenswagen.
Wait, Mr. Holwood, back to the vampire. What do we now do with the vampire?
We must cut off this Dracula's head, arms, and legs.
Right.
And I'll cut out the demon's heart and burn it.
Freeze! You are all under arrest.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Where's Dr. Seward? Where's Dr. Seward?
The men are facing life in prison.
And Dr. Seward?
The two hicks are trying to blame him for what they did, but no one will listen to them. Dr. Seward was nowhere near the scene of the crime when the constables arrived and made their arrests. His maid even vouched for him, said he spent the night in his study. He's a free man.
You still believe he put them up to it, though, don't you?
I really wish not to say. I'm just relieved it's over.
Yes, but what if Dr. Seward is the Thames torso killer?
I doubt it. I doubt he'll do anything anyway. Too many rumors, too many people walk by his home throughout the day, pointing and whispering. He's not going to run the risk of being caught now.
About a month after his father and his companion had killed the head vampire, Arthur Homewood Jr. died anyway, succumbing to his tuberculosis.
And Inspector, how is your wife?
She's well. Still living in blissful ignorance.
Good. Keep it that way.
Oh, I intend to, milady. You are my deep, dark, dirty secret.
If either of us is dirty, that would be you.
Yes, milady. Very good, milady.
Dr. Seward and his maid left London not too long after the Great Vampire Scare of 1890. He had cousins in Ohio, so they made a new home there, and they asked us.
Jack, where have you been?
Sorry,
night.
I hate how he's always my son when he misbehaves.
Mom, you lose track of time all the time. Well, all the time.
Not another word.
But
Not another word. Go to your room, young man.
you're all such old funnies. You have no idea what it's like to be young.
He has no idea the trouble his mother used to get into.
But you are always there watching out for me, helping me cover my tracks, even writing letters for me. Except for that one time with the beast on your hand.
People will do crazy things for love.
Yes.
You needn't worry about that. You needn't worry about Jack. He's got a fine head on his shoulders. After all, he is my son.
Our son.
Yes, well, good night, my love.
Wow. I really am the luckiest woman in the world.
Well, I must go home.
Yes, have a good night. See you tomorrow?
Yes, my lady.
Man, I really wish I had a court jester.
Meanwhile, at Scotland Yard, one of our brave, fearless crime fighters was reading the newspaper.
Wow, things are really screwed up in the United States right now.
Aren't they always?
They have a serial killer in Cleveland, Ohio, called, get this, the Torso Killer.
Those bloody wankers are always copying us.
They just found a third victim.
Whatever this guy is a long way to go and to catch up with Al. Thomas James Wilson Killer.
Yeah. The body of one Florence Polillo was discovered by the side of the road on East 20th Street. She had been dismembered and wrapped with paper and packed into half-bushel baskets. Her head, however, was missing from the scene of the crime.
Child, who told you you were allowed to sit in my seat?
I'm sorry. I thought you were out with the gentleman from one of the few remaining colonies.
Number 25, I don't believe I shall be seeing him again.
I'm sorry. What happened?
The bastard suggested that we, as in me, myself, and I, should return one of the crown jewels to his little colony.
That's the most preposterous idea I've ever heard in my life.
I know! What we have gained over the centuries through plunder and/or invasion is rightfully ours.
Exactly. And if blood was spilt for the acquisition of said jewel, well then, it only adds to the sentimental value of the piece.
Exactly.
Well, I am sorry that things didn't work between you and your gentleman friend, Mother.
That's quite all right. I never much cared for that colony anyway. I shall be going to bed now.
Very good.
Though, child, that is not an invitation to sit back down in my seat.
Sorry, Mom. Good night, Mom.
Good night.
Just a moment before we go our separate ways. I hope that the memories of the great London vampire scare of 1890 won't give you nightmares. So, I offer some words of reassurance. We roll back home, and the lights are off. You hear the wind outside. You hear floorboards creaking. Dogs or wolves howling in the distance. You dare not look out the window for fear of a strange face might be peering in. So pull yourselves together. And remind yourselves that after all, there are such things as liars, xenophobes, and psychopaths.